Welcome to What She Said. I'm Emma.
I'm Moira.
And this week's extra segment of Stranded on Honeymoon Island covers off episodes 7 and 8. Now, I took a little bit of inspiration, Moira, from Byron this week.
Oh,
and
okay.
I wrote an intro that's a little different to our normal ones.
Oh my God, is it a pirate hunt? Please tell me. Let me take a pew. Off you go.
They built it up. Emily, Brie, and old dick-faced Sam. So I wish it was... You've got to let me get through it.
Sorry. That one caught me off guard. Go ahead. Dick face Sam, as you were.
Though I wished it was Jess, cool, calm, and glam. I slid in on her DMs and she left me on a, all bets are on. Girl, that's not cool. At dusk, it was clearer. More drama, more flair. See what I did there?
I love what you did there, yep.
Brie got a treasure hunt with romance in the air. One note, one kiss, her fanny a flutter. But Tom, that dude's just a survivor wannabe nutter. Emily's flare soared, but Tom didn't run. No spark, no effect, experiment done. Cheated the system with a girl back at home. Caught red-handed, now leave us alone. Georgia and Chad, boom chicka wow wow. They got down. Emanuel and Danny twice with handcuffs, but no sound. Amy and Mike, well, that's a tails mix. He whitens his teeth, but Ames says he can't hide his tricks. Now, answer me this, if you dare to play. Who set the fire, then backed away?
Oh, I love it. Well done. Giving me a run for my money.
Oh, that actually took me probably a good hour. I'm not going to lie.
It's not easy being funny.
Oh, you know what? I need to get my phone because I got a message from none other than you. And this is what she sent me.
Houston, we have a problem.
Now, Channel 7 were a little bit slow on the uptake, uploading the episodes, weren't they?
Look, someone seriously needs to be fired about that. That was disgraceful. I know that they're pushing all the episodes out now to be double episodes on one day, so that tells you a lot. I mean, to even then not even be bothered to upload the episodes, that's saying another thing. Channel 7, you're doing the cast dirty in my book.
Yeah, it is poor publicity. I said to you last night on the phone that I just don't think that they've advertised enough. And they're not even putting up the show for people to catch up.
That's it. Now they don't even care when they're putting the episodes up. Poor form. Poor form.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever's job it is, give it to us. Yeah. We'll do it properly.
Yeah, we'll hit upload so hard.
Just while we're speaking about Channel 7 and editing, Endemol Shine build it up with their masterful editing once again. They gave us 3 options initially of who may have set off the flare.
Yes, so we had 3 options as to who pulled the flare because that is how we were left after episodes 5 and 6 last week. So we had our bets. You thought it was Jess. I thought it was going to be Byron. We were both wrong. It was Emily. Emily pulled the flare, and thank God. Thank God. And it was just so telling. Mom said, I still don't feel the spark, but if Emily wants to stay and keep trying, I'm not complaining about it because I enjoy being here. Like, I would love to stay on the island and have fun surviving. This is not
I wrote the exact
Survivor.
same thing.
It is not Survivor, mate.
Exactly. Wrong show.
Wrong show. So glad she saw through all that and saw her worth and was like, actually, I don't have to put up with this. And am I here on the island eating pasta and rice? I mean, I know the feeling. It feels like you just broke and then sleeping beside someone like that you're like, oh, God, I can't even.
Yeah, but you're initially hoping that something is there, but then it's just not. I'm so glad she woke up to it.
Yes. But I loved that he looked so surprised.
Oh, me too. I thought, now this is jumping forward a bit, but I thought when the boat came for him that he was going to run. I thought he was going to be like a catch me if you can.
I'm not leaving.
That's right. I was like, no, he's going to run for sure because he does not want to leave. But he was stunned. And I know that technically he's the one that put the brakes on, but she's the one that called it.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting in his interview shot that he said, we both agreed that we would stick it out. And it's like, oh, like we also both agreed to come on a show and try and find love, and you broke that before you even got to the island. So
Absolutely.
not a man of my word, but so I guess the first episode, episode 7, opened up with a lot of them just catching up, and we saw that a couple of them had consummated their marriage, and we'll get to that. But we also saw Sam and Jess in the wake of their couple's cove and the outpouring of that. And Sam wakes up saying that he doesn't feel great, and he, to be honest, he looks a bit hungover. Probably just drunk on his own lies and deceit, really. And look, it made me think, if anyone's ex should have been able to submit a video, it should have been his. Like, not Mike's. Yeah. Mike's, I mean, give or take, I mean, they had to set the scene, and Sam kind of overshadowed Mike, so they had to pivot.
Yeah, I think at the start they kind of pick a bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's just their go-to. It's what they seem to do in every season of everything that we've watched.
Yeah.
They, in this case,
started off with Mike.
Yeah. But I think they picked on Jess from the start as well, because that's what I said way back in episode 1, is that she had chosen someone else, which obviously was Emanuel, which came out. So I'm thinking they picked Jess from the start as well, hoping that this may occur.
Yeah, potentially. But I guess you can never predict someone's reaction to something.
Especially when you've declared that you're almighty and have been on a detox of everything and all zen now.
Sam and Jess, they are talking about the fact that they have a flare, and do they want to use it, and how do they feel about it? And I guess Sam is feeling like he's been let down by Jess, by her not being in his corner. And then Jess is saying how she's starting to develop feelings towards him. So if he pulls the flare, then she'll be frustrated. And I was like, there must be something in that salt air for her to be like, I'm starting to have feelings for him. Because no. It's another Stockholm syndrome. Like, something is going on that island.
Well, effectively, they're each other's supports, right, on the island. Yes, there may be some camera crew here and there, but they're just there to capture everything, not to actually intervene. So they've really only got each other on the island until they get to Couples Cove.
And then I guess we can flick over to Brie and Byron. So I thought Byron would have pulled the flare, or Brie. And the way that they set up the initial stages, it was kind of seeming like that, until Byron says that he has reflected on a conversation he had with Amy.
Amy, yeah. He chose to lean into Amy's advice and decided to do the little treasure hunt for Brie. He used a set of riddles.
Oh my God. Yes. And that first riddle, I got it straight away. I was like, fire.
Fire.
It's fire. Too. She's like, the axe. I'm like, no. Fire.
She's like, I need to get the axe. No. No, you don't.
No. Fire. And he's like, and what do we do? And what do we do with it then? And after we chop up the food.
I tell you what, she wouldn't have got any clue if he hadn't have helped her out with the first one.
Listen, she wouldn't be on my trivia team, that's for sure.
No, we wouldn't want her in our escape room.
I mean, you threw me to the wolves in the escape room, so you could use her as like a dodging mechanism.
That's right.
A distraction.
Just for people out there, I actually literally did throw Moira.
Literally. Push me into the way of danger to save yourself.
And I bolted.
Yeah, I know. I was there. Take her.
After she solved all the riddles, the last one was a bit of a love letter. Was Friend's version of a love letter anyway.
Sure.
And then straight into a cheeky kiss and hand holding. I was like, oh, they're going to get it on. I can see this happening now. No. Like, that's the thing.
No.
Really? You didn't get those vibes straight away?
No, I thought it was cute that he put his hand out for her to hold his hand.
After that, Brie said that he made her all excited and happy. But I'm going to decode what she was saying, and I'm going to say that she was getting the fanny flutter.
She's like, maybe he might touch me, even if it's just a poke in the belly button. And he holds a goal.
Yeah.
So we've been told.
Belly button fluff. Ugh.
Yeah. So I feel sorry for Brie because, to be fair, I got that clue straight away because number one, I am not malnourished, nor two, am I sleep deprived as much.
That's right.
As Brie is. So I do
They
kind of
all
feel
looked
for
really
her.
tired actually now, don't they? So I don't think they get much sleep on the island.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
And I mean, to be fair, Chad and Emanuel have a good reason to not be, well rested.
Yeah.
The others not so much.
No, not at this stage anyway.
Yes, so then it flicks to Danny and Emanuel, and we are almost being a peeping Tom because we're behind bushes, well, the camera's behind bushes.
I know. I was
And
like,
I was like, is he naked? He must be naked because we're not getting a close up.
oh, and he was whispering. Did you pick up what he was saying?
No.
He said, "Let me get the handcuffs going. Just let me oil you up and bed you."
Oh, okay.
Back
Nowhere
like
to be and nothing to do.
I was rewinding to hear his words, but secretly I was rewinding to like.
Are you sure you haven't got his words mixed up with the words from our spicy books?
No. I triple checked because I've watched it 3 times.
And zoomed in just to be sure.
Didn't see anything though.
Happy for them. And I'm more so happy for Danny that she grew that confidence that Emmanuel has probably given her to be able to get to that point.
When she's already got self-confidence issues, like getting to that stage, particularly with cameras around, that's a big feat for her. So proud of you, Danny.
Absolutely.
Then we see Amy and Mike. They're laying in bed, and Amy got her beauty case, which apparently has everything from glue to fake lashes to teeth whitening strips. And she hands Mike a whitening strip and says, "Do you want to use this?" So they're laying in bed with their whitening strips on. I just want to know what product that is because I've tried a few and none of them have worked. Apart from that, they did say that they're getting along.
Mike said he'd be surprised if nothing happened between them because they were talking about salmon jacket, aka man bun. And she said, actually, I think they've paired me with the right person. So that was nice for him to hear. I said that from the get-go. There's no way. Nah, she would have been bored out of her brain.
Yeah.
But again, she's saying that if she got what she wanted, it would have been different. I think she's learning a lot from Mike. And so what he's interpreted that to mean is, ooh, I might get some. No, Mike, you won't.
Which might not necessarily be what's happening. Funny male perspective to female perspective.
Yeah. So I told Mike that, look, he's better than Salmon Jacket. And Mike's telling the boys, oh, I think I'm in with the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 different interpretations.
Oh, Mike.
The male mind and the female mind, so different.
That's right. Just before Couples Cove, it cuts to Sam and Jess again because Sam's given her the once over of what his expectations are of her on the island.
Sam continued to dictate, and it's all about his appearance. That is the only thing he is concerned about. It's not about how he is as a person, how he is treating someone else, how someone else is even feeling. It's completely coming down to him and how he's coming across on a TV show. Essentially, that's all he's concerned about. Because then he's saying, the only reason I won't be calm is if you don't say what needs to be said and approach Danny and Emmanuel. But literally, he's dictating again what he wants her to say and how he wants her to say it.
Sam said, which I wasn't really a fan of, if Jess isn't clear, I've got my concerns. I'm not going to jump in over the top and rewrite what she's trying to tell.
He wants the narrative in the way that he's telling her to say it. And if she doesn't say it the way he's going to say it, he's going to jump in and say it the way he wants it said. So then we headed off to Couples Cove and everyone was dying to see who it was, in fact, that pulled the flare. So one by one, they're
Yeah.
turning up going, oh, well, it's not them. Oh, well, it's not them.
No banana phones to let people know who it was. They just
No.
had to find out on the day.
Yeah.
Speaking of fruit, I enjoyed Byron's coconut hat this week. So we still had the visor, which was obviously a paper plate or something, but he had the coconut that sat on top of it and the visor came out the front.
Oh, I love that.
I liked that.
Kind of like the Jewish thing.
Yeah, but with a big visor.
Yeah, I did see the big visor.
Would have been very effective for the sun.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you know like that joke hat shop that was in the Gold Coast many, many, many years ago? And it like came out like almost like half a meter long.
Actually, that's the visions that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Good hat, Byron.
Very good for your sun protection.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of hats, though, did you notice the new hats on the show?
Yeah, a lot of them seem to have hats. So I don't know whether Mike had quickly made people some hats or whether he taught them how to do it.
Oh, I don't think he's sharing that detail. I think Mike is making the hats. Oh my God, he should have used that as a bargaining chip. If you bring me a coffee, Chad, I will make you a hat.
Yeah, or if I can have a sausage.
Yep, give me a loan of your golf clubs and your balls and I'll make you a hat.
Yeah.
Which is why Byron said, no, I have my own paper plate, thank you.
That's actually really good because money is not a thing on the island. So yeah, why not start a barter system?
So should have started a barter system.
Yeah. You'd be good in prison, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. But also, skipping ahead, did you see Amy as they came back from their girls' catch-up with a grass basket that had been weaved? I was like, oh, did Mike make that? Because if he made that, that is bloody impressive.
Well, just to weave a hat, that's pretty good as well, right?
Very impressed, yes.
I don't even think I could weave.
I can do the grass that goes, like, you know, that you stick it. You make the whistle?
No, because I'd cut my finger probably on the blade of the grass, so I'd be like, no.
Yes, you probably bloody would because it's very impossible to do.
And we have a new couple name. Amy and Mike are McAmey apparently now.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That one, Amy made that one up.
I'm surprised she didn't put Amy first. A Mike. Yeah.
And so we see Denny talking to the camera and her saying that after the flare came and gave people an opportunity to effectively give them an out. She said that it gave them two choices. They could either leave or give it 110%. So let me also translate. I'm doing a lot of translating tonight. For her, that means you can leave or you can get some, because then she got some twice.
I wonder if that just kind of marked for them, you're halfway through. And I guess maybe they thought in their mind, if I can get to the halfway point and things are still good, then we'll go all in.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised that. So I always thought, and I'm not sure if things have changed or it's just because the men on this show are a little bit older. They are happy to take their time and take things slow and actually get to learn about their partner as opposed to just jump straight into bed. Whereas it's the females that are more so saying, yeah, I just prefer to jump in and then figure out the rest later. So I'm surprised. It's kind of nice to see the male perspective, I guess.
I do actually like the range, the age range, but it did seem to have, I would say, more mature kind of age range.
Yeah.
Like you're not having your 20-year-olds, which is breath of fresh air, let me say. Like you've got people who have been accomplished to something. They actually have established careers and they've got their head screwed on for the most part.
So the girls then saw Jess and Sam come to the island.
Yes.
So it was either down to Jess and Sam or Emily and Tom. And Amy looked flabbergasted. She was like, oh, am I happy or sad? Like she didn't know what.
Get it? Yeah, I get it.
Because I think her and Emily were like, you know, forming quite a good friendship. And so it'd be hard to see your friends go as well.
It is, but then I guess you just think both of them deserve better, the females. Both
Yeah.
of them did. So it's kind of like, I am happy that they're not here, but I wish that they were here to have wine with me.
Yeah, just Sam's attitude straight away though, right? Why is it that most guys, because we find out in episode 8 shows him doing a little bit of boxing on a video, but we'll get to that. Why is it that guys that think that they can throw down in the ring just run their mouths? Is it testosterone? Is it ego? Is it just that Sam's a dick?
I don't know that I agree with that statement. I think that the more confident you are in your abilities, the more you try and steer away from situations like that because you know it's not going to end well for the other person. So,
yeah, we do see him removing himself from the situation. So I guess that does show some self-control.
or that he's losing a battle that he can't win because the whole table's against him. And so he thought he would do what Jess did in the last episode and get up and walk away from the table.
By the way, or Chad seems to be playing
Chad?
mediator.
Isn't he? He's like the godfather of the group. Everyone comes to him and he tries to mediate the situation.
Well, he's the elder, isn't he? He's a little bit older than everyone else. He seems to be the wise old owl in the situation, and Amy's mother duck.
Yeah, I think definitely the lives that you've led beforehand and the things that you've experienced definitely change how you are, regardless of your age.
Yeah. And then we see at the island, so every week they must have they have the table where they can go and choose their goodies, I guess. This week they've got the snags, and there's we see Danny and Emanuel straight away pick the pamper pack, and Emanuel says because we deserve it. And I say it's because now he's getting some. He wants Danny fresh.
Yeah, there was lotion and cleaning supplies.
That's right. Brie and Byron pick that chicken. Oh, Boris.
Boris, was he a cock or was he a chicken?
The chicken.
Yeah.
And I wonder, because Emanuel goes, no, we don't want that. Like, I don't want to have to kill the chicken to get chicken, because Danny's like, oh, we've been talking about chicken. Yum.
Yeah.
No, chickens lay eggs. One chicken should lay one egg daily. Like, aren't these people thinking about food?
I mean, I
Or
guess
do
they were
just
just
not know?
I guess they were thinking like it's a pet.
Yeah, but Brie and Byron, I think Amy's the one that alerted Brie to the fact that the chook will lay an egg. And Brie's just thinking, oh, can't do kids right now, but I can do a chicken.
Yeah, 100%.
Again, I probably either would have taken the chook or the meat, because meat, why not?
At this point, I would have taken the meat because I would have just been like, oh, what if the chicken goes into the water and then it'll be called, oh my God, they should have called it Hey Hey from Moana.
Oh, well, that chook did look a little bit rough around the edges too. So yeah,
Right.
it fits quite well.
Yeah.
At the table, that's when we see things heat up a little bit.
Yeah, so it looked like Sam kind of ignored Emanuel. He was giving cuddles and hugs or whatever to the guys, and he just fist bumped Emanuel. And Emanuel was kind of like, all right, here we go. Already starting off with issues. And I feel like if Sam wanted to have a chat with Emanuel, he should have just given him a man hug and then just said, oh, have you got a minute? Let's take a walk. And done it then.
Like
instead
straight
of-
up.
Straight up, deal with it. Instead of waiting until you're sitting down at a table and then going, oh, by the way, Emanuel, we need to have a chat, just us.
I feel like that was almost a test on his behalf to Jess to see if she would stand up and be a good little wife and say what he expected her to say.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he was pretty much saying, if you don't come to the party, then we're not a thing.
Yeah.
You do it my way or it's the highway, baby.
This is the thing, right? If you do it in a forum in front of other people, then you're inviting other people to be a part of that conversation. It's like someone having their phone on speakerphone and having a conversation and you're like next to you or in earshot and you're supposed to not listen. Yeah, if you don't want me to hear, don't put it on speaker. So that's exactly what he was doing. He was putting his phone on speaker and expecting nobody else to listen.
I didn't see a problem with where Emanuel was coming from. He comes across as once you cross him, like there's no forgiveness.
I think he was just kind of coming from a point of own your own shit. Own it. If you've done wrong, own it. And then I feel like men really do move on quite quickly. I think
it didn't appear Emanuel did.
I think he was just trying to be like, you need to own it. Like, you need to own the fact that you're not letting this woman talk, that people have an opinion. You're very clearly trying to navigate this situation and tell her what you want her to say.
Yeah.
And then Sam says something along the lines of calling Emanuel a dickhead.
Emanuel says, are you happy to talk about what happened in the last couple Cove at the table? And Sam says that he's not okay and he wants to talk privately. So here he says, Sam, do you want to talk about this right now? And then Sam says, no, I want to have a conversation with you privately. Are you fucking deaf, mate? Like, seriously. Listen and open your ears, dickhead. And then pretty much as soon as Sam called him dickhead, Emanuel was like, this, like, you've called me dickhead, you've disrespected me. It's one thing to have an argument about something, it's another thing to call names. And then Chad chimes in and says, this is a toxic conversation.
I don't know, and that might be a trigger word for him, but I'm not sure that I would be offended if the likes of Sam is calling me a dickhead. I'd be like, I mean, if I respected you in any way, that might offend me, but coming from you, that's laughable.
Yeah.
But then Emanuel could have just got up and said, all right, you want to have a chat? Let's go before this gets too heated.
It was a bit of tit for tat.
Yeah, so I guess Sam's walked off after that, and then everyone kind of leaves the table, and we see Chad talking to Sam, and then flicks back to the table, and everyone's coming back to sit back at the table, and Jess sits down, and everyone seems to have their opinions on the situation, and Sam and Jess in that relationship, and they're all feeding it to her. Unsolicited advice, I guess. That's a hard situation when you want to say to someone, it's okay to say you're not okay in this situation. It's okay to be honest and go, this relationship isn't working. It's another to offer that unsolicited advice when it's clearly not wanted. That's the difference. I think that Jess had just reached her point where it was like, I know what's going on. I can see. And I guess her background is a dating and relationship coach. Is that what she does?
Yeah.
And I guess she's sitting back going, yeah, look, from the outside perspective, if I was seeing what you were seeing, I would probably be saying the same things.
Yeah, at that stage going, I know what's going on. Well, maybe she's not. At that stage, maybe she's not because she's in it. And it's really hard, right? When you're in a situation to figure out how you feel. But I'm pretty sure now, like if she's watching it back, she'll probably feel like because she is such a strong, independent person, and this is what she preaches every day to people, that she did fail herself and she wasn't advocating for herself well enough. But she was probably just trying to diffuse any drama so that she could get back to a baseline of calm, really.
Well, it's a safe zone, right? So essentially what you don't want is you don't want an escalation, and you don't want that to be how you leave a situation, because she knows him for this last 2 weeks, and she knows that he's an emotional person and he's going to be stewing over this, and he's going to have to talk it out, and that talking is going to be constant and continuous, and she's had enough of it.
She's trying to resolve it on their own. I'm sure that's probably all they're doing is talking about it over and over.
Yeah.
And then when you have people, outsiders, coming in and giving their point of view, sometimes it's just too much.
100%. And she probably knows what she's doing, and she's going, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm just trying to make peace with the situation so that it's calm for me when I'm the one who has to go back on the island with him. You don't have to go back on the island with him and deal with it. So stop escalating it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And ultimately, we see them leaving the island together.
And this is my point about counselors with a lot of people who are having either relationship issues or just issues in general. You never tell people close to you the full story. For this exact reason, just say you're in your Jess and Sam situation and your friend like Amy. Amy is a strong person who I would say would have very difficult time being nice to someone who she can see is treating her friend like shit. And so this is why you don't tell your friends the whole truth of what's going on, because they will treat that partner differently. And when they do, that just ends up being harder for you if you have someone who's emotionally reactive like Sam, because they just take it on. What did you tell her? Why is she being like that? Are you not sticking up for me? You end up being the target of that conversation. The whole point of going to a counselor and relieving yourself of all of that information is that they don't tell anyone unless you're in a dangerous situation, I would assume. You can walk away from that at any point. You can go, I have completely unloaded on everything that I can tell you, and you don't know my partner. You can't say anything. And I can leave you at any point and be done with the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is why you should have counselors if you are in that situation, to help you get through when you always hold back because you don't want people to know the true depths of what you're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it's a bit difficult though when they're on an island. And this is where maths, it was good in the way that they had the experts that they could check in with. It's just not the same, right? You're not talking about your emotions or your feelings or, what's going on in your head with that expert. So you kind of really are stranded. You've got your partner, your person, and that's why I guess they become so close.
You don't have that impartial party. So you have to call out your partner, because that impartial party isn't going to do that for you.
And depending on the personality, that can mean trouble. And that's what we're seeing in this instance with Sam. Amy said that Sam's cellophane, I see through you. So she's got his number. Jess isn't stupid. She's got his number. Everyone knows what it's about, but they need to give it a break. It was just a bit much.
And
a bit much for poor Jess.
I think they were just trying to say to Jess, we've seen it. You don't have to put up with this. Don't try and be strong and don't try and fight through. So I think they've heeded her warning. I think they've taken on and gone, okay, well, if you want to, if you're happy with the way you're being treated, then off you go.
And then off they went.
Yeah, so then I guess they leave the island. Everyone returns to the island. And then we find a crate. Now, we'll get to this, but I saw Chad jump on top of that crate and do a little dance. And I was like, that is not the first time he has jumped on either a table, a bar, or something and done a dance.
Or he has ground his body up against Georgia on numerous occasions. So he's good with the dancing and the grinding. So we've both come to the same conclusion there.
Yeah. So we find out eventually what is in the crate, and it is a box, and inside the box are each person's phones and a photo album. And so I guess the task is to go through their childhood or their photo albums and talk about themselves, and then to also catch up with their up-to-date versions of their photos, which are on their phones and the apps that they have.
Well, Chad, straight up. So the first picture in Chad's photo album is him with 3 other guys in what looks like dress-ups. And then you flick the page and then it's, oh, no, you're definitely a stripper. But Georgia didn't come to that conclusion straight away. All innocent Georgia. She says, are you some sort of dancer? Like, nah, mate, he's a stripper. And then it goes to Danny and Emanuel. Danny's insecurities are starting to creep back in.
Danny is going through Emanuel's phone and she's seeing his, I think, curated Instagram page is how she put it. He was talking about the outfits and him in his studio and what a studio looked like. So she was getting a real insight into him and his type of lifestyle, I guess. And that then brought back the triggers for her as she's saying, he's a really attractive person. I probably would never go near him because he's way out of my league. He's probably getting lots of messages from girls and stuff. And when he goes on tour and she asks him, can you just get anyone on tour? And essentially he's saying, yeah, I could. Yeah. And that then sets off that insecurity with her again. It's like, yeah, see, you could get anyone because you're so attractive. Why would you, why would you not, look at me and then look at them? And she's just putting herself down.
But I like the fact that he put that fire out straight away. He's like, no, my band and I have a pact that we don't go after groupies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he said, and if things go well, you would ideally be at my concerts anyway, or where I'm performing. I think that kind of put her at ease a little bit, yeah.
I think it was probably easier for her to hear that at this situation they're in now, as opposed to if she had have heard that at the very beginning, she probably wouldn't have believed him, because they have had such that established that emotional bond together before they've done anything.
And I mean, Emanuel has said that he feels strongly for Denny now. And I don't think he wouldn't have gone there sexually and bed her, as his words are, if he didn't have those connections with her.
Yeah, he comes across as quite emotionally mature.
Yeah, really nice guy. And we see Jess and Sam again, and I've just got, what the fuck? Jess is hugging him. I'm like, Jess is hugging Sam.
Yeah.
Why?
She's got a huge whiff of that salt water, hasn't she? God. It's super frustrating.
Sam, I suppose, is now allowing Jess some affection because he said he felt like she had his back.
Because
and that
she
he
got up
felt
and walked away
supported.
with him. Yeah.
So that brought them closer. And I guess that is a really good attribute to have when you're in a relationship, is to have your partner's back. In this case, I feel like he's twisting her arm to do all of these things because it's obvious that she knows what's going on, but she's just kind of got that veil over her eyes at the moment.
Well, essentially, she's just trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's saying she's got feelings for him as well. So I don't know. When you're in the moment, sometimes it's hard, even if you know it's not right.
Yeah, so look, I don't get that whole finger meditation thing, but yeah, whatever floats your boat, mate.
But he loves himself.
Phones. Yeah, so essentially we're having a look at their phones. So Sam's phone, and they decide the apps that he wanted to look at obviously was Hinge. And her being a dating and relationship coach, I'm not surprised she wanted to see Hinge.
Yeah, I've never, I've been out of the dating realm for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was a Hinge. Like, how many things are there? Lots. Is Hinge even a thing now? I don't know.
Dating apps were, it was RSVP, wasn't it? That was the dating thing. And yeah, that was the only one that I knew of. And I was never on it.
Yeah, I was.
Just
for a short time.
I couldn't give a shit about dating when I was younger. I was too into having fun and traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was loving life.
Way to be.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, so she was into his profile, but then when he looked at hers, he was almost looking down his nose at her profile and saying, well, it's not you.
He just loved to look at himself and talk about himself, didn't he? He really enjoyed that segment of the island. And I don't know whether he thought that bit was going to go on for longer than it did, because he was just all about himself. And then he was saying to her, now the only thing that came across in that episode was that he was saying there's not enough photos of your face and your body. And
well, I saw pictures of her face, and she looked gorgeous, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we saw all of her profile pics, but we didn't see much of her body. But that is shallow, yeah?
Yes and no. Because is height not a deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that shallow? Could be a lovely person. Yeah. Okay, see? So I don't disagree.
I'm shallow.
I don't disagree that you have to have a visual attraction to someone. That doesn't last. Look, but when I say it doesn't last, I mean you get older, right? So wrinkles come, grey hairs come, all that sort of stuff. You've got to really enjoy the person, and their core values never change. So going for what their core values in a person is so important. But you do have to be attracted to that person. But then spending 21 days with someone, you could turn that non-attraction into an attraction based on the fact that that person makes you a grass hat, to protect your skin from the sun. Or they're making you a fire so that you have hot water for a shower, like Byron is. Like, sometimes it's those acts of service that really make you attracted to someone. And I know Mike has come across as misogynistic, And I
Yeah.
guess that's an interpretation, and maybe from her perspective, from what she's been through, that is a red flag for her. For other people,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, he's just trying to be the man in the situation. He's just trying to make me feel that he's got me, he's got this, and that's
Paige was 100% on Team Mike, and
yes,
that was her perspective. Is
yes.
still her perspective. It's taken me a little while, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing all his little acts of generosity, and I wouldn't call him misogynist.
So I think that you can become physically attracted to someone by way of learning who they are as a person and what their core values are. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's the whole point of this 21 days as well, is to not be blindsided by other shiny things and to focus on the person who's in front of you. This is the downfall of things like those dating apps, is that you're just swiping purely on looks and not who that person is. Maybe there should be one that there might be, I don't know, but maybe there should be an app where it doesn't show you the person. It shows you their interests and their likes and their core values. And if yours align, then you get to see and you go, yes, that's someone for me. Then you get to see what they look like.
I feel like
Because
that'd be a good one for Byron because he seems to be more along those lines.
well,
Yeah.
because I feel like it would be good for anyone, because in your head you've already gone, okay, well, maybe I'm not attracted to her, but she really loves fishing. And how many women do you know that love to go and spend the day fishing? Not me, that's for sure. So you might look past something and go, actually, she aligns with 3 out of the 5 things that I enjoy doing and that I really hold in a high regard. Maybe we'll go for a drink. Not dinner,
Yeah.
we'll catch up for a coffee.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, for him to go more on the looks but I guess he's saying, I didn't learn anything from you then. I mean, you learned she likes condiments.
It's a good takeaway anyway. So
It's a
she
good
can either,
takeaway.
and then funnily enough, back when they were recording, it must be the thing because Brie is also on Hinge.
So they're looking through photos at one point. Either she says or he says that they bring up the dating apps. And she says, do you want to have a look at mine? And he's like, sure. And then he sees that she's been communicating with a number of guys, and he starts to ask questions like, but why do you do that? Like, is it just for like a one night stand? And she's like, sometimes. And, these are the people that I, have responded to. These are the people I haven't responded to. She's being
Yeah.
quite open about it.
He asked her, does she get flattered when she gets likes or when, people like her profile? And he says that she's just a classic example of not using the dating platforms for the right reasons.
Yeah. So he is saying that her being on the dating app is a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Look, I think that she's been single for 2 years, and if that's how she chooses to spend her time, and I guarantee she wouldn't be on there, she's got a life. It's not like she would be living on the apps. She said it's just when she's bored or, wants to pick me up. You know what? If you're single, there's nothing wrong with messaging people, right? If she wants to go out and have a one night stand, go out and have a one night stand. If that's going to fill her cup for whatever reason, go and do it. I don't think he's within his rights to make that judgment, particularly when she didn't know him before the show. She wasn't cheating on him. She was single. So I don't get that. And I don't believe that being on a dating app is a red flag. He can have those thoughts and beliefs, but I think it's pretty shallow-minded.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I guess you're Jesus, you're well into your 40s now, aren't you? Geez, you're at least 7 months into it. Like, you're a professional now. And if I think 20 years ago, social media was only just starting, like it was only becoming a thing. And so dating apps weren't a thing. And you met people by going out. So you went out to a pub, you went out to a club, you met people through social sports, you met people through work, you met people through your friends. I mean, I'm talking when I was 18. That's how you met people. When you're in your 30s, pushing 40, it is hard. And I'm disappointed we don't have Paige for this segment. Unfortunately, she's got work commitments. It is hard because you try to get set up with people through work or through friends or through extracurricular activities. And they don't work out. They
No.
are they either you don't end up getting set up with someone, or they are completely different, or they're coming with baggage that, you don't necessarily need to have because they're not through that situation. Maybe they're going through a divorce and it's the very early stages, and
Yeah.
they're not interested. They've been in a committed relationship for 10 years and they just want to have a fling.
Yeah, or
It
maybe
is,
they're just a really good friend, but a really asshole partner.
it is a really hard situation to navigate. When I was younger, I traveled a lot by myself, and I would, before phones were something that anyone had glued to their hand, I would sit at a bar and just have a drink of wine. And I would intentionally sit there with nothing in front of me. No
Yeah.
book, no phone. Do you know how many people talk to me? Not one. And that's
Yeah.
an airport. Like, you don't even have to see me. There's no commitment to talk to me after 30 minutes. You can go, I've got to go to my gate and fuck off to the next bar. This is so you can try all the tricks of the trade, but people still won't come up to you and talk to you. That everyone is glued to their phone. Like,
I know, it's terrible.
obsessed with their phone.
Mhm.
And I don't know
Can't even go to the toilet without having your phone these days.
Well, I don't
It's
even know how you're
ridiculous.
supposed to meet people. And you think about going out to pubs and clubs, and guys can be just jerks. Like, they're not confident enough when they're sober to come and talk to you, and then they're absolute arseholes when they're drunk and they just fallen over themselves. You know that they're just after one thing. You're like, I don't even want you to breathe near me. Go away. It's hard.
No, the best people to talk to when you're partnered up is partnered up people, because they can be the opposite sex, have the best conversation, have whatever, and then you're going to go home to your own spouse. Like, there's no flirting, it's just banter, it's fun. You actually get to know something about a stranger,
Yeah.
proper conversation, which is a shame because it seems like all the good people are taken.
It's so true. And I mean, look, we even made and wore t-shirts around Launceston. We all flew to Launceston. We had t-shirts made up. We had QR codes made, people scanning them to take them direct to an Instagram page so we could get Paige a husband. And I mean, like, we failed. Like, let's be honest, we failed.
did.
But it was a good talking point. So that would be your only way around trying to find someone, is by wearing a god massive t-shirt with a QR code that says, I'm single.
Yeah. Which we may end up having to do again.
And I mean, is that a red flag? Is that desperate? Like, is that how that comes across? Like, I don't know. I think it was very interesting that he considered that a red flag. And I wonder if he would have considered that a red flag if it had been one of his mates.
Unlikely.
And I mean,
Yeah.
why is it his responsibility to tell her that having one night stands is not appropriate? Essentially, that's what he was coming across as saying.
That's all right. And this really pisses her off.
It does.
Like, she gets really angry, and I don't blame her in this instance. I like both of them, but in this circumstance, I think that Brie is well within her rights to be pissed off, and she just needs some time.
Yeah, I think guys really don't understand how different perspectives are from male to female.
Yeah.
And they see their mate going over and having a chat, like chatting up some bird at the bar. How is that any different to the apps? Because if your mate goes and chats up a bird at the bar and takes her home and then never calls her again, how is that any different to Hinge?
It's not.
It's not. I know.
In fact, it would almost be worse, because unless you say straight out, hey, I'm just in it for tonight, you want to go, at least on Hinge, you've probably already had that conversation.
Yeah.
What do you want to have?
The commitment level has been established. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether they're doing over the app or they're doing it in person, like going to a club, dancing, having a hookup, and then that's it. I mean,
Same thing.
Same thing.
Brie even deleted the app in front of him, and Byron said, yeah, you'll just download it again later.
Probably.
I think absolutely she will, because she didn't delete her profile, she just deleted the app. And then we come to another Hinge discussion with Amy and Mike this time. So Mike said he doesn't have any dating apps.
But yeah, so she goes through and she's looking for the apps, and he hasn't got them. He's a clever boy.
He deleted them.
Clever boy.
Yes.
Very, very clever.
But she keeps prodding, doesn't she? She's not going to stop there, old
That
Amy.
annoyed me a little bit because I expected more from her. I expected you can be quite upfront and ballsy when you want to be, but in this situation, I don't know why she didn't just go, "Where's your apps?" And he goes, "I deleted them 6 weeks ago or whatever." And she goes, "Well, how did you do that?" And you then also then messaged Emily the night before the speed date. Like, how does that make sense? Why she didn't call him out at that point kind of annoyed me.
Because it flicks back again, masters of editing. Flicks back to her in the first episode or the second episode when she meets Emily on the island, and Emily gives her that tidbit of information about Mike and the apps and the underwear. And Amy says to the camera, basically, I'm just going to keep this as ammunition if, should I need to bring it up later on down the track.
Yeah. And
that's not right. She chose to, at that point, to put it aside. They were working on their relationship. She chose to put it aside.
Good decision. Good decision, I thought. But yes, she was looking for a moment to bring it back up.
Yeah. See, that shows that you're kind of not in it. If you're going to use something against someone as ammunition in a time when you don't really have anything else, or you're not feeling it, or for whatever reason, she has trust issues because she just doesn't believe Mike at that stage because she feels like he's not being truthful. It's not the time to bring it up. Or if you are going to bring it up, like you said, bring it up right at the start, right then and there when she's talking about the dating apps. Look, I know this isn't the case because XYZ.
Yeah, but then I think that long into knowing someone, you would go, give me the context. Like, okay, so all right, so let's pretend that you did actually say it. What would the context be around? Have you ever said that to someone? What would the context be around that? Give me that.
Particularly their banter, right? She could have taken it from a different angle. And then they get a message in a bottle and they're going to have a boys and girls day.
I love how Emanuel and Danny pick it up, I think, and they're like, yay! And then it shoots to Jess and Sam's like, oh no, what no?
And Brie goes behind Byron's back. She's like, yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Like, I need a break from him right now.
Yeah, I think that you would be so excited to be able to have some girl time, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So they go to their separate islands and the girls get a pamper day. So there's brushes there, shampoos, conditioners that they can wash their hair. There's mud face masks, there's champagne, foot scrubs, like all the things.
Yeah, so essentially they're all sitting around and they're enjoying their champers, but Jess hasn't arrived. And so they're all wondering, is she going to show up? And honestly, I thought Sam was going to say, I don't reckon we go. I reckon we just have this time together. I thought he was going to make a ploy, but she shows up and he goes to the boys' day. And I guess essentially the girls just want to talk about Jess and Sam and how things are going, and she just wants to talk about anything but that.
Yeah. Yeah. And she made it clear. But Amy kind of did give some sound advice in this situation. Amy thinks that Jess is struggling to hear the voice of reason, and she says, me being the voice of reason. Completely get that. I just feel like Jess is too good. Jess's flame is far too bright. She started out really bright, and Sam is slowly snuffing her out.
It's kind of my feelings on how I felt about Brie and Byron at the start, and how I felt like Brie was kind of taking away the opportunity from Byron by wanting to leave and going, I just want to run away. I just want to run away. Like, it's too much. And I kind of feel like Sam has stolen this opportunity away from Jess, where Jess had come in and she probably had so much to offer and so much also to learn. And instead of that, she's being put in this situation where she's having to almost work. And I guess she is learning from a different perspective, but it just seems like it's not the experience I guess she thought she was going to have.
No, she's been cheated out of it.
Yeah.
And Georgia reveals that Chad is a stripper to all the girls, and they're like, we knew it!
No one is surprised.
No one is surprised by Chad's little dance moves that they've been seeing all over the show.
It explains the confidence in the Speedo wearing.
Yeah. I don't mind that though. And then it quickly flips over to the boys, and then you see Chad's entry, and again it's very much like dancer stripper mode, and it kind of comes out to the boys that he's a stripper as well.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him done like a haka or something. Like that would have been cool.
Mm.
That's the only reason I watch Union is to, and I only
Let's
watch
see
you.
that tongue fly.
Yeah. That's the only reason I watch like the All Blacks play in the Union, and I only just watch like the haka, and then I don't watch it again.
Yeah. Or Union, why would you?
Oh,
I'm a league girl. Right. So then we go back, and then it's like back to the whole Jess situation. So this whole thing is about Jess pretty much. I don't see anyone getting pampered except for a foot spa here and there. First thing I would have done, washed my hair, put a face mask on, and then okay, let's talk now.
I
Or
did think,
let me get some food.
yeah.
And
Honestly, that was the first thing I noticed about the guys one. I was like, they got pies and sausage rolls and beer.
I noticed the beer. I didn't notice the pies and sausage rolls.
I was like, oh, a sausage roll, yeah. I bet you they'd be hanging for that. But
Yeah.
yes,
And they
I
had cricket.
I did notice that when Brie was talking about what Byron had said to her about the Hinge app, and then I think it was Georgia was brushing her hair, and I was like, yeah, Brie, why aren't you brushing your hair?
Yeah.
Like you've got this
I
whole
know.
camper day, and all you can do is talk about like the bad, like I guess like they're just debriefing, which is fine. But then I would be like, drink in one hand, brushing my hair with the other, food in the mouth.
Look, I would have a pamper train going, like a pamper circle going on. Like we'd all be brushing each other's hair, and then we'd
Yeah.
be flipping around and doing face to face with partners, putting on masks, and then
To be fair, that whole segment could have been so much funnier if they all had like clay masks on.
yes, yes. Think of the comedy. And then kind of Amy says to Jess, is there any way we can support you in a group situation? And then Jess goes on the offensive again. But by this stage, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Like we've already discussed it before. She's kind of over it, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of just like, let me handle it.
So then Brie and Amy are talking about Mike because we kind of see on Couples Cove that they both say that they're doing really well. And then that whole technology just ruins everything, right? Technology comes into it and then nobody's happy.
Yeah, so then essentially Amy's telling Brie that she spoke to Mike and she's like, I know he's lying because Emily said that he messaged her and blah blah blah. Receipts. We need the receipts. But then Brie goes in and says, right, well, if that's the way you're thinking, take your head and your heart out of it. What does your gut tell you?
And Amy says her gut is telling her that something is very wrong with Mike.
I mean, I don't know that I'd say that, but I mean, I'm not spending 24 hours a day with him.
No. And I just think that at this point, it's kind of like she's, we know that the ick can come and go as it pleases. It's just that type of thing. And she's already got the ick, right? She's already got a bee in a bonnet. And that's probably fueling the situation, the gross feeling that she's having towards him at the moment. Boys' Day.
God. Emanuel and Sam is essentially put things to bed. Sam apologized and he thought he was going to get an apology back and he didn't.
No, which, I mean, Emanuel probably could have also said, yeah, sorry about the situation, but...
Sorry, I didn't handle it. Right, yeah.
Absolutely. Take accountability. It was just, as Chad's words, toxic situation. They were both in the wrong and, yeah, both could have apologized.
But then lovingly, Mike pulls Chad aside and says, can I have a conversation with you? Because I feel like you're the best person to have this conversation with. 100%. And then he's trying to ask Chad how he can go further with Amy, and he wants to push the relationship, the intimacy, the romance part of it, and how should he approach that. And Chad goes off on a tangent about what he should say and how he should attack it, and Mike looks off into a distance. He looks off into a distance, and I think at one point he was like, is Chad coming on to me?
I know, he's got that, he's just smooth, Chad, he's smooth.
So I think Mike was either, one, Chad's coming on to me, or two, I have no idea what he meant by that.
No, he's like, no, she would never buy that because
No, that's not something I would say.
Those words.
And let me, like, not verbatim, mate, like, obviously.
Yeah.
And you can see Mike going, yeah, what's verbatim?
Yeah. Oh, poor Mike.
Who's she? Yeah,
Oh,
but he does
dear.
give some sound advice, which he takes back to the island and poses to Amy. And he says, actually, I had a really good chat with Chad. And he asked me, had I asked you what you look for in a romantic partner and what
Romance.
you're looking for in romance. And I think she kind of realized, I need to shut this down.
Amy returns to sender straight away with a know you matched with them on the dating apps. And one of the first things you asked her was what color underwear is she wearing? Like, boom, straight in with it. Not the right moment, but I mean, she was going to say it regardless. And Mike almost chokes on that bloody bottle of water that he carries around, the old wino.
The wino, yep.
I just wondered, did Amy ever have any intentions on pursuing an actual relationship with him, or from day one was she like, nah,
I don't think she's
not salmon
attracted.
jacket?
I didn't ever get the feeling she was attracted to him.
No, but she
think
did
she's.
admit that she finds him funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, how could you not?
Everyone finds him funny. He's
Yeah.
great. I am now Team Mike. Hashtag Team Mike.
It is
You've
interesting.
changed.
It is interesting though, because we kind of look at Tom and think, well, he never had any intentions and he never found Emily attractive, and we kind of jumped on that bandwagon of like, well, why are you still here? And I feel like
Yeah.
almost Amy was the same. Did she ever have that feeling for Mike?
A little disappointed that it wasn't the person she had as first choice, but he was her second choice. So, yeah, we don't know.
I'm disappointed they didn't work out.
So Amy to the camera after the discussion with Mike said, I was really wanting things to be working out at this point, but they're not. And I was looking very closely and intently, and she had a tiny little bit of a smirk. I could tell she was not sincere in that comment. And I was like, oh, that's a little cheeky. That's a little cheeky grin there. And then we get another
teaser. At the end of that episode 8, we see Mike walk off because essentially Amy has said that it's not going to go any further and there's no romance there. She's not feeling it. And so he gets up and he says, I'm just going to take a minute. And he goes for a walk along the beach. And we are teased with the fact that Mike bends down and picks up a box that is very reminiscent of the flare box, but it comes with a note. And the note indicates that Mike has the opportunity to set the flare off, in which case he will leave the island and Amy will have a second chance at love. They will send a second person in, and dear God, if they send Man Bun in, I am out.
I was like, it would be Man Bun, aka Salmon Jacket Guy. But I was wondering, are they, you know how they just give us a little teaser? Does this come to all the couples? Or if it's just for Amy and Mike, considering their situation at the moment, does Amy also get a flare? And what happens if they both set them off?
Yeah.
Does that mean they both get a new?
That was my thing, is why Amy? Why does she get to stay and not Mike?
I know. Or if Amy sets the flare off, she leaves, then does Mike get someone? There's a spare island. We're forgetting that there is one spare island now. So if they both set off a flare, they may both get a new partner.
Yes, so definitely excited to see what the next couple of episodes bring.
Yeah. And that's it for another scandal-soaked episode of Stranded on Honeymoon Island. Endemol Shine built it up with their masterful editing. Tom still had no spark, but thank God Emily grew some and snapped out of that trance that Tom had her in. Emily thought she'd go out with a bang, setting off the emergency flare. Honestly, mate, wrong island for you, Tom. This isn't Survivor. Although, if anyone was going to set off the flare, I was praying it was going to be Jess, Sam's better half in every possible way. Meanwhile, Byron was busy winning hearts and treasure hunting Brie's fanny flutter into orbit. Oh, and Couples Cove? Sam wanted blood, Emanuel wanted to cheers, and Chad missed his call, mediating all the testosterone. Plus, plot twist. He's a retired stripper.
Woo.
Honestly, we would love to see that, Chad. Amy, she's not buying any of Mike's charm. She's got gut feelings and girl gang energy that can sniff out BS like a bloodhound on Botox. Will Mike set off the flare? And if he does, who will be her new suitor? Will it be Man Bun, aka Salmon Jacket Guy? Not sure. If you've liked what you've heard, and let's be real, of course you did, Be sure to check us out on your favorite podcast app. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Or if you want to see our sass and snark in full action, head over to YouTube. Want to binge our juicy little shorts? Head to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're everywhere you scroll. But don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe because, darlings, we are double Fs. Not in bra size. Well, maybe Paige. No, we're fucking fabulous. Until next week, may your riddles be romantic, your dating apps be deleted, and your man not be Sam. Bye.
Bye. Done.